Commission for Standards in Public Life reminds all persons subject to the Standards in Public Life Act that declarations are due by 30th of July. If you're struggling to complete your annual declarations of interest, the Commission for Standards in Public Life has a new tutorial video available to provide further guidance. Visit Standards in Public Life Commission.ky/register of interest to view the tutorial video today.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 15th day of July, 2022, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules. If you're a pedestrian, if you're a cyclist, if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, when you observe the rules of the road, then the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. And to remind all of you that this segment of the show, For the Record, is brought to you, and it is the birthday shout out, and it is proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randa Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. And they remind you, don't take chances with your family's future. So some of the birthday greetings that we have today, Miss Jewel and the North Side crew are sending out birthday greetings to Mr. Ezard Miller. I'm not sure whether or not these are belated birthday greetings or whether or not he's celebrating a birthday today, but I'm told that it's a belated birthday, so we want to say belated happy birthday to Mr. Ezard Miller, and they're coming from Miss Jewel Whitaker and the North Side crew. Also celebrating a birthday today, Miss Priscilla Berry, Cindy Cranston, Valden Scott, and other recent birthdays. Denise Alvaranga, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Denise Alvaranga celebrated a birthday on the 13th. I think we have some more here as well that we're going to share with you. Let's just find them. Oscar Watler, he celebrated a birthday on the 14th of July. Mike Smith, also on the 14th of July. Jody Power Gilbert on the 14th of July as well. Delisa Hernandez, 14th of July. Nikki Conley McCoy, 14th of July. So we want to wish all of those belated happy birthdays as well. And to remind you that the birthday shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. And their motto is, don't take chances with your family's future. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Art Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal, is in the studio waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number, provided courtesy of Flow, that toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can just follow us on YouTube, and you do that simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Before I introduce my guest this morning, there was something that I wanted to share with you, and I know persons who are currently in Jamaica or planning on going there. And this was a press release issued by the Embassy of the United States of America, 142 Old Hope Road, Kingston 6, Jamaica. And this was a release issued on the 12th of July, captioned, current student visa appointment available at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston, Jamaica. And it reads, students in the Cayman Islands seeking to pursue studies in the United States in the upcoming fall semester should lock in a student visa appointment at their earliest convenience while appointments are still available. The U.S. Embassy in Jamaica currently has a sizable block of student visa appointments available during the second half of July 2022 and throughout the month of August 2022. To secure an appointment, students must complete and electronically submit a student visa application form and pay the requisite visa fee. Prior to applying, students must register with the Student and Exchange Visitor Information System, which is the acronyms are SEVIS, pay the SEVIS fee, and obtain an I-20 form, and obtain an I-20 from their school. And for additional information, students can visit the Appointment Service website as well, or they can contact the call center. The number there is area code 876-656-8535 or 876-630-2040, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. I know that people are still concerned about the fact that they do have to travel to Jamaica to obtain not only student visas but other visas as well. And some are asking, why can't we have the old system that we had before when they actually visited here? And we know that officials here in the Cayman Islands have been working extremely hard on trying to get that done, but it is not an easy task at this point in time. So we have to go through that extra period of travel. So before we go to our commercial break, I want to introduce my guest in the studio again this morning. I am pleased and humbled to have the presence of Dr. Dr. Steve McField in the studio with me. Doc, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. And I see you all dressed in your court garb, so that means that you're going to be heading off to court at some point in time again this morning.
Yes,
welcome.
I'll be heading off just after 9 o'clock. Thank you for asking me to come back on your show. And I would like to say good morning to all your listeners in For the Record land, all the people in the Cayman diaspora, and all those outside the Cayman diaspora who listens to you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's a pleasure being here. By the way, after the show on Wednesday, there was so many people said that was a great show. I think they appreciate us going back into time and perusing some of the articles in the old Northwestern magazines, and I think that a lot of people did not understand, or they were not aware of the history of Cayman, and how it has unfolded.
Yes,
and I think they really appreciate it, and that they said that was a great show of what we did on Wednesday morning.
Well, we're going to continue to give them more of that this morning as well. So we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Affectionately known as Miss Kippy, Muriel Sims was a very humble person who had a passion for teaching and taught children at her residence on Goring Avenue, Georgetown, until children attended government school at the age of 7. Her classes were held outside without seating, and children wrote on slates instead of blackboards. At times, there would be 10 to 12 students attending classes, which were held under a tree, and throughout the day, the students would shift around according to the sun. The cost was a pence per child per day, although Miss Kippy turned no child away. For those who knew her best, Miss Kippy was kind, inspiring, pure, purposeful, and yearning always to better the community in which she lived, whether imparting knowledge to children or wishing the best for her fellow man. Information from this historical vignette was sourced from the Lions Club of Grand Cayman.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
JN Money, money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money, JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
Hi, I'm life insurance agent Michael Webster.
And I am Randy Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center.
Proud sponsors of the birthday shoutouts on For the Record.
Whether you're another year older or just a year wiser,
making sure your family is protected is a pretty wise choice. I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
And I am Randy Lawson at 322-2145. Give us a call today to find out how you can better secure your family's future.
Cayman Insurance Center, protecting you and your family so you can take back your future.
The following is a special announcement from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association. The Grand Cayman 6A member backpack distribution takes place July 18th through 29th at the 6A office above number 1 shoe shop on Hospital Road Plaza. Backpacks are limited and on first come, first served basis. Members should bring identification to speed up the collection process. If you are collecting bags on behalf of another member, please bring a written signed note from that member with a copy of their ID. The Grand Cayman 6A member backpack distribution, July 18th through the 29th. The Cayman Brac backpack distribution will take place on Thursday, August 4th.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have about 6 minutes before we go back to our 8 o'clock news. So, folks, on Wednesday, I shared with you a statement issued by the Honorable Roy McTaggart, leader of the opposition, on an inappropriate video by Minister Bryan. Yesterday, the 14th of July, 2022, the Honorable Kenneth Bryan MP and Minister for Tourism and Transport released a statement regarding the breach of the Ministerial Code of Conduct. And it reads, I would like to address recent comments in relation to a video that I did with my wife when flyers were being distributed in a part of my constituency on her behalf. Since assuming the government, the PACT administration has gone to great lengths to demonstrate to the public that we operate on a platform of transparency and accountability. Our introduction of the first ever Ministerial Code of Conduct within our first 100 days in office is but one example of our commitment to this objective. As a member of this administration, I take very seriously my responsibilities to the people of the Cayman Islands, whom I have sworn to serve to the best of my ability. I am proud to be a minister for tourism and transport, and I am equally proud to be a husband and father that cares for my family and strives to support their dreams and aspirations. In relation to the video, I got this wrong and apologize unreservedly to my constituents, the people of the Cayman Islands, the governor, the premier, and my other colleagues in the PACT administration. I would like to reassure everyone that I fully support the Code of Conduct and the principles of good governance it was designed to enhance. Going forward, I will redouble my efforts to ensure that my actions are in keeping with the highest ethical standards of the office I am humbled to hold on behalf of the people of the Cayman Islands. So, Doc, Minister Bryan has done the right thing in issuing that statement, and I think after this, we should move on because it's quite obvious that in terms of what he said, he has learned his lessons. There are still a few things that I thought could be mentioned. Yes, we have the Ministerial Code of Conduct, but maybe some discussion needs to take place on, if there are questions about the Ministerial Code of Conduct. Now, we know the Cabinet Office, based on the legislation, has been assigned to that. But whether or not we actually need an Office of Ethics, in the so that people can go to and say, hey, listen, I plan on doing this. Tell me whether or not it is correct or not. Over to you, Doc.
Well, yes, I think you're right about that. But what strikes me is that the political arm of government, the political arm of the executive, seems to not have advisors. Since there's no district councils, it seems to me that they need to have advisors because the Attorney General is not their advisor, and the chief officer is not their advisor. The chief officer is there to carry out their policies, but the chief officer is not to advise them when they're making decisions that are politically sensitive. And it seems to me that that as a group of people, as a group of politicians, they ought to, and they're acting like a party, they ought to have some sort of advisor of their own, their own surroundings. Now, the only cohesive government that I saw since I would say since 1831 was the unity team between 1976 and 1984.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying successful. I'm saying cohesive.
Cohesive. Okay.
That's the difference.
Yes.
They had advisors. They had something called the Committee of 40.
Oh.
That actually surrounded them, like a great wall. And whenever they wanted something to know something, they got their committee together and they run it by them to see if it was politically sensitive or not. It seems to me that this group of people they appointed a few people for media in the media system, but they have no real political advisors. They ought to have some political advisors. The government has the governor has political advisors. He has the Attorney General. They have the Solicitor General and all those people who advise them. They're not. That's not the same as the political arm of government having their own people. They should have their own people to advise them. And I'm sure had they had them, that this wouldn't have happened. But I'm so glad, and I would just like to believe this before you go. Mandela said, and I'm glad that the young Kenneth minister has now apologized and it's time to move on. And this is what Mandela said. He says, what counts in life is not the matter of mere fact that we have lived in it. It is what difference we have made of the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. And I think that is what the minister is trying to do. And he also says that do not judge me by the success. Judge me by how many times I fall down and got back up again.
Yes, okay. So top of the hour, folks, 8 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation with Dr. Steve McField will continue, so please stay tuned.
Radio Cayman time check now, 8 a.m. This time check is brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
So it's your turn to cook tonight. What are we having?
Well, we have chicken thighs, pork chops, sirloin steak, ground chicken, or beef stir fry.
Wow, so many options.
Yeah, I got them from the Foster's Pick 5 selection. You can choose any 5 specially marked packs for $19.99. The meat is always fresh and never previously frozen. It's the perfect way to stock up for the week.
So all of this only costs $19.99?
It sure did.
Pick 5 is available in the meat department at all Foster's supermarket locations. Foster's, better value because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego with your latest news. New leadership at the Civil Aviation Authority Board as Lysel Richter is approved by Cabinet to serve as director. In the July 6th Cabinet meeting, the resignation of Shamar Ennis was accepted and appreciation expressed for her many years of service. Cabinet also approved a stipend increase for the boards of the Cayman Islands Airports Authority and the Port Authority. Board chairs will receive $2,500 per month and deputy chairs will receive $2,000. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, RCIPS, announces Police Sergeant Sarah Joy Bodden as the new Sector Sergeant for Community Policing in the West Bay District. Speaking on Radio Cayman's Business Buzz show this week, Ms. Joy Bodden says it's been great so far.
I've been reaching out to the community, speaking to residents as business owners, and we do hold community meetings and hear their concerns and find solutions, help them find solutions in relation to their problems. And we also work together collaboratively in order to have a safe community.
Ms. Joy Bodden joined the service 8 years ago and spent the first 4 years in frontline policing, the next 4 years with the Criminal Investigations Unit as a detective. As new Sector Sergeant for Community Policing in the West Bay District, she will be focused on the proactive side of policing, identifying issues and root causes affecting the community, and finding long-term solutions. In other local news,
Jada Bush, Keisia Campbell, Destiny McField.
The School of Hospitality Studies celebrates the end of its 2022 cohort, graduating from the program at a recognition and awards ceremony held at the Wharf Restaurant Thursday night. Certificates and special awards were presented to 18 students for their hard work and successful completion of the program. During his remarks, Tourism Minister the Honourable Kenneth Bryan said, "There are so many positive things to having Caymanians join the tourism industry, where they're able to make a notable difference to the guest experience. No one can offer authentic Cayman hospitality other than our very own."
Tourism is a very powerful economic engine that touches the lives of every man, woman, and child in this country. Each time a Caymanian enters the industry, they're enhancing the quality and the authenticity of our tourism product. This is important because a quality destination gives our visitors the best experiences possible, and it keeps them coming back and improving our economy.
Officials also announced over 90% of the students have secured internships. We say congratulations to all the students. That is your latest local news. We now turn to the BBC with a check of international news. That's it from me. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. President Biden has reiterated the United States' commitment to a two-state solution in the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. He was speaking after a meeting with the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. Both leaders also agreed to hold to account those responsible for the death of the Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh, who was shot dead in the West Bank. A German army officer has been convicted of planning to assassinate senior politicians as part of a right-wing plot to bring down the government and undermine democracy. Franco Albrecht created a false identity as a Syrian refugee. Prosecutors had said he hoped that immigrants would be blamed for the killings. A court in Sri Lanka has barred the former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and his brother Basil, a former finance minister, from leaving the country. The move came days after their brother, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, fled Sri Lanka after weeks of mass protests against the government. The latest figures from China show a dramatic slowdown in growth in the world's second biggest economy. It was only 0.4% in the second quarter, as COVID restrictions took effect in many cities. A British man being held by Russian-backed separatists in Ukraine is reported to have died in custody. Colleagues say Paul Yuri was a volunteer helping to evacuate civilians, but Russia accused him of being a mercenary. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Whether it's routine care or highly complex surgery, when it comes to your health, you want the best. Health City has Cayman's most comprehensive range of in-house medical services. Recognized for quality and excellence, Health City brings together expert doctors, the best technology, and the latest techniques to understand your health and ensure you get the care you need. From Camana Bay to East End, you can trust the team at Health City. Health City, world-class healthcare within your reach.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Your Radio Cayman 6 p.m. news, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Logic, your life connected. The 8:12 a.m. weather report, brought to you by CG Britcave, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course, Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... Whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Brit K. Good like that.
Good morning, my friends. Let's take a look at your latest weather. Compliments of our friends at CG Brit K. Present temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit. It's kind of cloudy now, but it feels like about 90. Winds are out of the southeast at 4 miles per hour. Relative humidity 80%. Barometric pressure still at 30.00 and falling. Light easterly winds and seas are expected across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a ridge north of the Caribbean. And hazy conditions are expected to continue as a plume of Saharan dust lingers over the Western Caribbean. Our forecast for today calls for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds will be east at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Then later this evening, partly cloudy skies, 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be east at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide is coming up at 10:38. It's going to be low at 4:50 p.m. High at 11:32 tonight. Tomorrow, low tide is at 5:58 a.m. High at 11:40 a.m. Low at 5:43 p.m. Sunset at 7:05. Sunrise for Saturday morning at 5:57. And the outlook is for similar weather conditions through Sunday morning.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Brit K, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? Nope, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Brit K. Good like that.
Let's stop and ask for directions.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by On-Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, keep it positive. The human brain does not work very well in the negative. If told not to think about pink elephants, most people's brains go straight to a pink elephant. When setting goals, focus on what you're going to do rather than what you are not going to do. For example, instead of saying to yourself not to go on Facebook, say to yourself that you will study more.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by On-Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. On-Course Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
All right, morning, my friends. As we hustle and bustle out there, let's take a look at the traffic situation coming out of the Eastern Districts. Good flow of traffic, but of course, getting into the Georgetown area. especially along Crew Road, the Linford Pearson Highway. You will run a little bit of a congestion, probably 5-6 minutes delay time. Traffic moving along Crew Road, especially in the lane to turn northward to head on to Shedden Road. A little bit slow this morning. And looking at Bobby Thompson Way, there's some traffic there as well. But as you continue on, most streets in Georgetown looking fair to find. Light traffic along Shedden Road with some pedestrian movement. Similar with Edward Street, a bit of a northward bound traffic as you make your way out to 4th Street. West Bay Road, traffic coming into Georgetown. Fair to find with some little traffic hotspots here and there, but moving smoothly. And of course, the Esley Tibbetts Highway movement along there, a bit of traffic coming off the Esley Tibbetts as you head around the Butterfield roundabout and make your way into the Georgetown area, be it east or west. Always busy at that roundabout. West Bay, looking at the 4-way stop, very light traffic in that vicinity. And Cayman Brack and Little Cayman, very light traffic as well. Buckle up, enjoy your day, and be safe. Your traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
Subway is giving you flavor around the clock with the new Chicken Squad sandwich options. Try the classic chicken and bacon ranch, the sweet and savory barbecue chicken, or the chicken cordon bleu. 3 new appetizing and delicious sub options that you can also make into a wrap. The Chicken Squad is available at Subway for only a limited time. Subway, giving you something to cluck about.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating?
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
Ray, are we ready for the next You Are Saying?
Yep, this time the topic is Duppies. Yep, that's ghost to you tourists.
What's your Duppies?
I never believed them, but I have a Dupper story. So if you tune in, you can hear my story and you can call in and tell me your Dupper stories, because we know there's people out there that got Dupper stories that afraid to talk about it. So call in and tell us your Dupper story.
Duppies on the next You Are Saying.
Next You Are Saying. Boy, stop touching me. I'm real. I just clear skin like this. I know I need to get some sun.
You look like a Duppy. So, Friday the 15th.
Friday the 15th, join us for Siwa Saying Duppies.
Siwa Saying is a special feature of Talk Today with contributions from the National Museum, a language, history, and culture show on Radio Cayman 89.9 and 93.9 FM.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me is Dr. Steve Macfield. We're going to continue our discussion that we had on Wednesday. We're going to focus on the Northwestern newspaper of 1979 for the month of July. And we have shared with you several articles in that newspaper so far. I think, Doc, you had left when I read the article about our national hero, the Honorable Jim Borden, admitting in the Legislative Assembly that he had dumped 2 loads of marl in the driveway of the manager for Caribbean Utilities Company. And of course, he could dump that because he was dumping it on his own private property because he was renting. The manager was renting for him as well.
Yes.
So I said jokingly, at least he was, he admitted it in the Legislative Assembly, what he did. And I'm wondering how many more years it's going to take for us to find out the culprits who set the couch down at the
Yes.
Legislative Assembly, and whether or not an admission to that will come about. I said I'm not sure whether or not they're still waiting for the statute of limitations to expire before they make any admission.
You mean the time the coverage Truman
Yes,
Martin?
yes. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but these Northwestern magazines bring back such great memories and thoughts. Mr. Jim also pushed the Northwestern magazine off Cayman Airways because that was one of the great things when you got on Cayman Airways. You got a copy of the Northwestern magazine,
and he was objecting to the fact that, or part of his objection or his rationale was that we were paying $500 a month for it to be carried on the airline.
Yes, but that was not the real reason. The real reason that they had their own magazine that they wanted to put on to the Cayman Airways, and they wanted to get rid of the Northwestern magazine, and it's very interesting to see in those days people actually, when they objected to something, they put their names to the objection, and not like today when people write in anonymously. This was a short letter, a protest about what Mr. Jim did by taking the Northwestern magazine off the flight of the Cayman Airways, and the letter says, "We, the undersigned staff of the Northwestern Company Limited, Caymanian sons and daughters of the soil, call the banning of the national magazine, the Northwestern, from on board our national airlines a gross violation of our individual freedom and training and trampling on the individual rights and privileges of a free people. We therefore register our protests by so signing." And that was signed by John D. Jefferson Sr., Catherine Wagner, Mary J. Lawrence, Roy L. Scott, Sylvia Borden, Karen Ryan, Kathleen Smith, Irma Lindu, Marianne Colson, Sandra Evans, Lindell Sharp, Bridget Chalette, Livira Zayas, Jewel Levy, and Rena Wright. Now, those days, people put their names. They did not write in anonymously to anything. And because of that, some person wrote a beautiful article about what the state of what politicians should be and how they come to something, because that decision by Mr. Jim Borden to ban the magazine, the Northwestern, from off the airlines, caused a whole proliferation of objections from different people. I can't read them all. I can't read them all, but there were objections all about from Canada and all of those places. But this. Let's start with what they wrote. And the article is headed, "What makes a politician into a statesman?"
Yes,
that was what came out of that. What Mr. Jim Borden did. It says, "We are living in a highly developed age, an age of speculation. Whether you are programming a computer or making a lot of bread, you need a certification or diploma. Without them, it is hard to get a job, as it is for a lawyer to get to heaven. And even if you do, there will be a big difference in salary. Here, I want to be clearly understood that there is nothing wrong in getting as high an education as possible. Every young person should be encouraged to do so. So without such documents, you may find your pathway in life covered with grease and broken glass. Sad to say, the only place that this doesn't hold true is politics. That's a door left open for anyone to walk in, yet irresponsible and tremendous. Their good or bad administration affects every man, woman, and child of the country they rule. Politics is a science, the science of government. It deals with the form, organization, and administration of a country or state or part of one, and with the regulations of its relations with other countries or states, imperial, national, domestic, municipal, parochial, and foreign. Thus, it can be seen that different parts of a government and their functions can be just as intricate as a computer, itself. Therefore, the people who make up the governing body of a country should be people of the highest integrity. They should be intellectually truthful, not double-tongued, not self-centered or selfish, holding the respect, if not the love of everyone. They should have a working knowledge of the law, business management, finance, handling of personal and a fair understanding of the language of their country, so they can hold their own intellectually anywhere in any debate, able to express themselves in a forceful manner without the use of slang or being long-winded and boring. It is not uncommon to attend, and the writing here is very faint.
Yes, yeah.
To attend a meeting called to discuss a subject of vital importance, to find that the speaker are more confused than the listeners. Where a meeting lasts 2 hours, where a meeting lasts 2 hours with hundreds of words poured out, and when the vital facts are extracted, to find it could all have been said in 20 minutes. Because of these poor qualities, some standards of qualification should be set for future candidates, so that anyone who is interested in governing should take steps to prepare himself for future service. No business of today, large or small, is satisfied to take on unqualified workers. Yet the greatest business of all, that of governing, is largely filled by the unqualified. Each candidate should be required to take a test, such as 1. Write a dictation of 2,000 words, write a speech on a given subject, and 3. Find the cost of a half-mile of road with a given speculation in materials, man-hours, and time limit. I know that some will say it is sheer nonsense, but police recruits how to take tests. Those applying for jobs in certain places have to face up to the test of 90,000 words per minute. If you want to get a second-class radio operator's license, you have to face up to a rigid test. Since these things are so, why should the seats of government be filled with the incompetence? The public speeches of some of our legislators speaks for themselves. A good politician is a statesman. He or she, as the case may be, will weigh as much as possible the effects their administration will have on their country in the next 2 or 3 decades, and will to the limit of their ability lay foundations for that future. They will not just visit the sick and aged and kiss babies at election times, forgetting them until the next election, nor will they saddle up the old white elephant and go riding around on it. Statesmanship is not measured by the number of years spent in office. It is measured by the effectiveness of those years. Many of few. It is not the number of shells fired from a gun that counts, but the number of hits made on the target. Good statesmanship does not center its attention on one segment of society. It takes in the whole. It does not encourage victimization or corruption or partiality in any form. A good statesman does not boast of nor lament over the time he has spent in service of the country. He is not self-centered or rude. He does not cater to a special set, as Rehoboam did, and lost the respect of 10 parts of his people. He does not demand attention. He finds contentment under the motto, I serve. I serve. He considers himself a servant to all, or should do so. He cannot allow abuse to warp his judgment and spoil his service, nor can he afford to be just a yes man. Mistakes have been made in the past and will continue to be made, as there are no perfect human beings. But when mistakes are made because of lack of qualification for the job, there is no excuse. I will remember an incident several years ago when the wording of an order costs a sum of $12,000 instead of $2,000 because of incompetence. And we hope that that doesn't happen here, but it may. And then this was signed by the Scarlet Pumpernickel. So there's a great article. This was back in 1979 about what a statesman should be and what a politician should be, and it's true today. That is as true as it was written then. It is true today, and it's all came about because of the thing that Jim Borden did to try to ban this magazine from Cayman Airways in those days, to put his own magazine that was run by people that he had an interest in, and some of the other politicians have their interest in it too, because I think their wives were some of the people that had owned that magazine that they wanted on Cayman Airways.
Got you. Okay, and again, I want to thank Miss Sharon Ebanks for sharing those Northwester magazines, with me as well. I have several of them, and what I propose to do is, this one is for the month of July 1979. So we'll continue during this month of July, whenever the opportunity arises, to share articles in that with you. I'm having Dr. Steve McField go through those, and whatever we find that may be relevant to be shared with you today, we will do that as well. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I want to talk a little bit more about ethics in government, and I'm going to share with you an article from the Markula Center for Applied Ethics at Santa Clara University in the U.S., and the article is entitled, "What is Government Ethics?" Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Do you have a customer shutoff valve installed? The customer shutoff valve enables you to turn off the water between the meter and your property. If you plan to shelter away from your home or are preparing your business for a storm, turning off the customer shutoff valve can prevent unexpected high water bills and property damage should a leak occur in your plumbing. For more useful hurricane preparedness tips, visit the Water Authority's website at www.waterauthority.ky or follow us on social media.
Attention drivers, hurricane season is from June 1st to November 30th. Hurricanes don't plan ahead, but you can. Get prepared at Ace with batteries, flashlights, and generators. Power a small electric stove, charge your phones, or turn on some lights. Be prepared for hurricane season. Visit our store at 11 Ashko Street, Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have with me in the studio this morning none other than Dr. Steve McPhail. And while the birthday shout-out segment is over, we still will entertain birthday greetings. And we're being asked to send a birthday shout-out to Daddy, Mr. Bunny Miles, who is celebrating his 77th birthday on this coming Sunday. And these advanced birthday greetings, they're coming from your wife, Mary, children, and grandchildren as well. Mr. Bunny Miles, a great guitarist in the Cayman Islands. I believe he played the bass guitar. But if I'm wrong with that,
lead guitar.
It was lead, not bass.
Yes.
Lead guitar. See, Doc, you're up to speed with with everything.
Yes.
So I want to remind folks that we have the birthday shout out between 7:30 and 7:45. It is sponsored by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson of Cayman Insurance Center. We urge you, if you want, send us in advance the information. This is on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Birthday shout outs are like I have added to that, if there's any significant occasion that is being celebrated, share that with us as well. And, for those of you who are a little bit timid about your age and you may not want to say how old you are, we're not asking you. But I tell you what, if I was in great shape like Dr. Steve McPhail, and at his age, how old is it again?
87.
87 years old. I would be more than happy to broadcast my age and to announce it because the man is in great shape. So, folks, here's what we're going to do now. We're going to talk a little bit about ethics. Like I said, we're going to put aside, what has occurred between the leader of the opposition in his statement, and Minister Kenneth Bryan has admitted that he made a mistake. And certainly has learned from that. We're going to put that past us because we cannot live in the past, folks. We have to live in the present and look forward to the future as well. So there is an article. It is written by someone by the name of John Palacero, and it talks about the fact that government ethics applies to the process, behavior, and policy of governments and the public officials who serve in elected or appointed positions. And I would go on to say that that includes civil servants as well, because in the Cayman Islands we have had several civil servants who have made missteps as well. And while they may be governed by other legislation, they also fall under some of these standards in public life and things, other pieces of legislation as well. So it says that government ethics applies to the processes, behaviors, and policy of governments and the public officials who serve in elected or appointed positions. The role of government and its officials is to serve the public interests with ethical awareness and ethical actions. When governments serve the public interest and avoid engaging in behavior that promotes any private interest, they are acting for the common good. Right? On taking office, every public servant, elected or appointed, enters into a covenant with the people that as a public official, they will seek to promote the public interest in all political processes and ensure that policy adoption and service provision occurs without favoritism or discrimination. Moreover, a public official must not use her or his position for personal gain and should avoid even the appearance, folks, of having a conflict of interest. An ethical awareness of the obligation to act in the public interest will normally promote fairness and justice and advance the common good. The article goes on to say, one may view government ethics as part of the broader field of political ethics that is explained by other writers. And it goes on to say that the ethics of process, which focuses on public officials, the methods they use, and the institutions in which they act, and the ethics of policy, which concentrates on judgments about the policies and laws government make. Going back again, Doc talking about that was a policy that was adopted by our national hero, the late Jim Borden, in terms of removing the Northwestern newspaper from the airline. That was a policy decision that was made, and you have pointed out that was, involved a conflict, possible conflict of interest as well.
Great conflict of interest.
Yep. So I'm going to read that part. That part again. The ethics of process, which focuses on public officials, the methods they use, and the institutions in which they act, and the ethics of policy, which concentrates on judgments about the policies and laws government make. Political ethics also extends to political processes of a democracy that includes the ethics of elections, campaigns, and voting. That is something else that we need to be discussing here in the Cayman Islands as well, not to mention the fact that we need to concentrate on financing as well, election finance, okay?
Yes.
Just as governments and their officials must act with ethical awareness, so too do those who run for political office, engage in political campaigning, and vote in elections. There are ethical practices for candidates, campaigners, and voters that are critical to advance the public interest. So, folks, what Minister Bryan spoke about the fact that what he sees his role and his office, he has now again reiterated his position that what he does, what he will do in the future, what he does now, always in the public interest. Now, Doc, the reason that I'm still focusing on this is because, on some social media platforms or chat groups or whatever, it is amazing to see how many persons do not understand the whole concept of conflict of interest or possible conflict of interest. And the article talks about the fact that the mere appearance of having a conflict of interest can be just as profound as the actual conflict of interest itself. Yes.
It's the same old adage that justice must not only be done but be seen to be done.
Yes.
That is the same as conflict of interest too. So, where do we go from here now? The minister has the honourable minister has gone to the public. He has said he's sorry. He's not the only one who had to do that. So let's move on.
Yes.
Let's move on now. Let's move on.
And I don't think that I'm going to look back at the statement that was made by the leader of the opposition, but I don't think that he was calling for his removal from office or anything. But I'll check that again. Go ahead, Doc.
Yes, I was saying that I always like to quote Mandela, and Mandela says that the thing about what the minister did is he says everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. So if he's passionate about being a minister and helping his people and being servicing the people as they elected him, he can rise above that the circumstances of what happened. And I hope he does do that and move on. I don't think that has to be all of this now trashed in the public eye, and so forth. And for all those people who are on the chat show, who are saying, well, what it's no big thing. It is a big thing. It was a big thing, and I hope that now they understand the reason why it was a big thing, and that we should not be doing that, and that should not be repeated again.
Yep. Okay, Paul, we're going to take that commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. The conversation with Dr. Steve McField will continue after this short commercial break.
JN money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Cybercrime happens online or through the technology we use every day. Anyone can be a victim of cybercrime, whether you are a young person being bullied or harassed online, or an older person or business who's been scammed out of money or personal data. Cybercrime is an issue that touches all of us. The Cayman Islands government has therefore created an online resource to help keep you cyber safe in an ever-changing world.
In online situations, it is better to be cyber safe than sorry. Learn now to protect yourself against cybercrime. Visit gov.ky/cybersafe.
Early Bird gets the cheap tickets. Join us at Parker's Raceway July 30th and 31st with tickets starting as little as $10. Race on over to parkersraceway.com and get your Early Bird tickets before they sell out. Follow us on social media for more event details at Parker's Raceway. A big thanks to our sponsors, Monster, Valvoline, AI Rentals, Event Pro, VP Racing Fuels, Parker's, and NGK Spark Plugs. Get your tickets at parkersraceway.com.
In recognition of the 50th anniversary of the Cayman Islands Parliament Building, the community is invited to a special celebration on Thursday, the 21st of July, from 6 to 8 p.m. The 2-hour program will include speeches, live performances, and Cayman-inspired cuisine, including kunk stew and refreshments. Join your family, friends, neighbors, and countrymen and women in celebration of this historic tribute to the iconic building that gave the Cayman Islands its first permanent home for the legislator. The 50th anniversary of the Cayman Islands Parliament Building, Thursday, July 21st, from 6 to 8 p.m., 33 Fort Street in Georgetown.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the people's station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have a caller on hold. I'll take that call in a second, but I just want to finish the portion of what the thought that I was conveying before we went to the commercial break. So, in addition to other things, what the progressives, the leader of the progressives, stated in the end was, for the health of our body politics and for the country's sake, the Premier must demonstrate leadership and ensure that his ministers understand their role and responsibilities. Ministers must conduct themselves in a manner that does not bring their office and the government into disrepute. Minister Bryan must immediately take down the videos, and he and Premier Panton should apologize to his constituents and the country for this most egregious conduct. So Minister Bryan has done that. I'm not sure whether or not the Premier has yet, but Minister Bryan has made his apology. The Progressives, the leader of the opposition, was not calling for the minister's head, at all, just to ensure that corrective action was taken as well. I just wanted to clarify that. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, Dr. Steve, and the listeners.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Well, first of all, it's good to know that the matter relating to Honorable Kenneth Bryan has been resolved.
Yes.
I thought also the leader of the opposition, I know some people have excoriated him for being hypocritical, but that aside, I think that he had issued a very reasonable statement.
Yes.
As you say, he never said, I want him to resign. He just said, well, this is not right. This is what the code says. So he was being reasonable to that extent. But I was surprised myself, actually, that Honorable Bryan could do that, because for me, he didn't need to be told by the ministerial code that you can't do that. But that's the way it is. But it's good. It's now behind, and it is. The public have also been educated by it as well, because somebody on another medium, I was watching somebody saying, well, but why didn't you chastise Mr. Bush, because he also owns like a real estate business? And of course, people rightly explained that no, he has never been involved in advertising. I mean, there's no problem with owning the business. And I think it was a good opportunity also for the public to learn that there's a distinction between just owning one and benefiting from it, and it's being run separately there. And it is different if you now advertise and use your position and tell your constituents that they should
buy from you or sell to you or have them represent you.
Exactly. So it was also like a teachable moment, and I think it was good to that extent. The reason I called, I got four things to say, but I don't have time for them. I'll just mention two of them.
Okay, let me just see whether or not we have any other caller on hold, and if not, we will have you. You will have about 7 minutes to go right up until our 9 o'clock headline news. How about that, Billy?
Okay, well, I'm grateful for that, but let me know if there's any other caller.
Sure.
I wanted to just go a little deeper into the appointment of the Deputy Solicitor General. I know it is a very sensitive topic. I know that for me, the way I treat Caymanians, I always make a distinction between generational Caymanians, first-generation Caymanians, multi-generational, but that is my personal preference, okay? The law says that if you are Caymanian, it doesn't matter what the category is. You are a status holder, but you are a Caymanian. But for me, as a personal preference, I always look at those as being different. But regarding this Deputy Solicitor General issue, in my view, one of the factors that played into her appointment, quite apart from the fact that by all accounts she's an honorable lady and she has worked hard, and I don't doubt that. I respect her and even the people who have said things about her. But in my view, she fit a certain profile of people who, in the portfolio of legal affairs, tend to be given a break. She is, I believe, a first-generation Caymanian in the sense that her parents are not Caymanian. I believe they're Jamaican, but anyway, they are not. One or both of them are not Caymanian. They have come from outside. And to me, I have found that if you have got that a kind of Caymanian with a strong Jamaican or other Caribbean identity, you have a better chance in the portfolio of legal affairs to be able to get an appointment. Because the question I ask is that me personally, I can name, I won't name them on the show.
Because we do have some generational Caymanians that are in there.
Well, yes, let me deal with that little.
Yes.
You've got one generational Caymanian I know there. I don't know if there are others. That particular one was actually a peer to the currently appointed Deputy Solicitor General. They were called to the bar at about either the same time or within months of each other.
Yes.
Okay? And that generational Caymanian, multi-generational Caymanian, is still at the bottom of the rank. Get that right. At the bottom of the rank. She has not been promoted even once. But her peer, this other one who is Jamaican Caymanian, has been promoted like 2 or 3 times to be able to get into that position. Now, you go figure that. In addition, try to figure out why some other multi-generational Caymanians who were actually applying for those positions, you know, some of them even more senior at the bar than this new appointee. They were never given a chance to get jobs in that portfolio. To me, it is showing you that there is a certain fine-tooth comb which they apply in there. It is not really for multi-generational Caymanians. I think there is a problem there because they don't fit the profile. The other thing you shouldn't do when you are in the portfolio of legal affairs, I worked there for 12 years. Do not try to train a Caymanian. I wound up in a problem because that particular multi-generational Caymanian, when she came in about 2010 or thereabouts, a long time ago, I said, give me this person to train. And they told me, oh, you want to train the Caymanian? Who told you that we can allow you to train a Caymanian?
Yes.
Yeah, then they told me, listen to this is lovely. And then I was told by the head of department who was there then, both of you know who it is, no names. I was told you are not fit to train anybody because the quality of your work is just as good as that of a clerk. I was told that to my face. I didn't hear it from a third party. That particular person told me you are not fit to train anybody because your quality of your work is not like that of a clerk. Now, also, the Bible says, let no word commending yourself come out of your own mouth. And I try to avoid that. But when you challenge me like that, is a problem. If you look at what I have done today, and I have for the last 12 years, I've been teaching Canadian lawyers how to write legislation. And I was not chosen by my grandmother. I was chosen by a board of governors of this Canadian university who looked at what I have done.
Wow.
And what did they do? Did they look at? They look at, for example, that I wrote like 24 peer-reviewed papers on the interpretation of statutes, on legislative drafting and law in general. And some of those papers are published in the University of Oxford. And 3 of them are actually about issues in Cayman. I started teaching legal drafting in Europe. I used to go there as a visiting instructor. And when I was there in the 90s, I met a lady, I hope her family will forgive me for mentioning her name because she has passed on, Julian Banks.
Yes.
Julian Banks is a sister, as you will know better than I do, of Woody and Wade Da Costa, and a wife to somebody who is well connected to Radio Cayman, right?
Yes.
And that's how I met her, for the first time. I never knew then I was even coming to Cayman. I've done book reviews. I had 5 renewals in the portfolio. But they decided ultimately to say no because you are trying to train Caymanians. They now decided to malign me to say you are not fit to train anybody. But let me close by saying this. How we left. When we left, let me tell you how they rewarded us. With me, I've been rewarded by the portfolio telling the politicians that Billy Simamba left because he was not performing. That's what I was told. That he was not performing. After they renewed my contract for 5 times and all these things are failed.
Wow, yeah.
Okay? But
Yes.
how did they reward that head of department who was persecuting a Caymanian with the acquiescence of the Attorney General. She left as a QC a few months before she retired. And that person had never been to court for more than 40 years. And that's how they rewarded her for persecuting Caymanians and doing little. I was rewarded by saying he has failed to contribute anything. And yet I had a number of books, including a book on Cayman legislative process, a book on Cayman judicial review, and an offer to train people, all which were spurned. So let me leave it there. I think we should stop. You should stop in Cayman as Caymanians, rewarding people who treat you poorly, and then punishing those who really want to be part of your community.
True.
You have a good morning.
Thank you,
Thank
Billy.
you, Billy.
You do the same as
you
well.
You sure understand the system and how it works, Billy. You sure understand it, how it works.
Yes.
And I'm glad.
I try my best.
And I'm glad your expose on it too. And so it would take me a whole year to tell you my experiences, Billy.
Yep.
I've heard some of it. Some of your experience you have told me, I've heard it on air, yes. But I know it's very long.
Yes. Okay. Folks, we have headline news, top of the hour headline news. Please stay tuned for the record with Dr. Steve Macfield. Will continue immediately after headline news.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice. Local, regional, international. This is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
4 new cases have been reported by Public Health for the Sister Islands. There are 871 estimated active cases of COVID-19 in the Cayman Islands. 9 people are in the hospital with COVID-19, and of these, 2 are unvaccinated. The 7-day rolling average for July 14th is 63. In international news, Sri Lanka's Prime Minister was sworn in as its interim president Friday until Parliament elects a successor to Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who resigned after mass protests over the country's economic collapse forced him from office. Lawmakers were to convene Saturday to choose a new leader who would serve out the remainder of Rajapaksa's term, which ends in 2024. The new president could appoint a new prime minister, who would then have to be approved by Parliament. U.S. President Joe Biden, visiting the West Bank on Friday, restated his continued support for 2 states for 2 peoples, but acknowledged that the ground is not ripe for reviving stalled talks aimed at achieving an elusive peace between Israelis and Palestinians. His comments came during a joint appearance in Bethlehem with the Palestinian Authority president, where he announced $201 million for a United Nations agency that supports Palestinian refugees. And rescue teams with sniffer dogs combed through the debris Friday in a central Ukrainian city, looking for people still missing after a Russian missile strike a day earlier killed at least 23 people and wounded over 100 others. Russian forces, meanwhile, pounded other sites in a relentless push to wrest territory from Ukraine and try to soften the unbending morale of its leaders, civilians, and troops as the war nears the 5-month mark. Those are your latest headlines. I'm Shanda Gallego.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Ray, are we ready for the next You Are Saying?
Yep. This time the topic is Duppies. Yep. That's ghost to you tourists.
What's your Duppies?
I never believed them, but I have a dupper story. So if you tune in, you can hear my story and you can call in and tell me your dupper stories, because we know there's people out there that got dupper stories that afraid to talk about it. So call in and tell us your dupper story.
Duppies on the next You Are Saying.
Next You Are Saying. Boy, stop touching me. I'm real. I just clear skin like this. I know I need to get some sun.
You look like a duppy. So Friday the 15th.
Friday the 15th, join us for Siwa Saying
Duppies.
Siwa Saying is a special feature of Talk Today with contributions from the National Museum, a language, history, and culture show on Radio Cayman 89.9 and 93.9 FM.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve Macfield, and we have one caller on hold. We're going to take that caller in a second. But, when Billy started to talk about the whole issue, because this still becomes a touchy subject, and while, yes, we recognize the fact that a person who acquires Caymanian status and a person who is Caymanian by virtue of their birth and their connections to the islands, while in law they're recognized as the same, in reality we know good well that they're not the same. And I was thinking the other day, maybe what should we call ourselves to get away from this whole thing about Caymanian and then the paper Caymanian saying, well, I'm Caymanian too. We know that in Canada and other jurisdictions, people refer to themselves as First Nation. And maybe we here in the Cayman Islands should refer to ourselves as that as well, rather than Caymanian. I'm a First Nation. And a First Nation, what does First Nations or First Peoples, and they're referred to as indigenous peoples for ethnic groups who are the earliest known inhabitants of an area. So, folks out there, maybe we should consider this new term. Get away from Caymanian, even though it's in the Constitution, it's in our immigration laws and stuff like that. Refer to ourselves either as First Nation or First Peoples. Now, some of us may not have come here voluntarily of our own volition.
Like me.
And me. Yes. But we were some of the first, or the first, to be here. Maybe we need to get away from that stigma of Caymanian and refer to ourselves as First People or First Nation to make that distinction. Because, folks, if we don't, our mere existence is being threatened. But I don't say that lightly.
But before we take the call, but legal, there's no Caymanian. There's no Caymanian in the Constitution. There's no Caymanian defined in the Constitution.
Right.
The Constitution says that a Caymanian is what it is in
the immigration law. Yes.
And the immigration law says Caymanian is a person who have Caymanian status.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We got to get away from that and do better. We have to do better for our people. Let's go to the phone lines. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, my dear. How art thou?
I want to call to say good morning, but
that's it.
That boom my way, and so on and so forth. Good morning, Dr. Steve.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning to Mr. Belika. Look here, I'm a boneyard person. I know we could dig up my bones, and nobody can tell me who I am. They might kick me off here, but my heart's still going, and I can leave my toenails on the iron shore. I am a Caymanian. And I know 150 years of Cayman history, talking to the people who knew the people. I know that I am a Caymanian. You don't get to know that and do all that kind of stuff if you are not a Caymanian. So I don't care how they trick the legislators at the time to define themselves, because Charlene has defined herself a long time ago. Boneyard, I know where to go and dig up my bones. I know where to go and dig up my bones. There.
Yep.
Anyway, I want to call to say good morning.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you as well, my dear. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Macfield. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I have a little cold. My voice might sound a little funny, but I got two little items. But the first one, I like when you were on. That's why I waited, because I want to get, I like having a little colloquy with you before I ask my question. Can you explain to myself and the listening audience in basic terms what is habeas corpus?
Was it habeas corpus?
Yes.
Habeas corpus is an action when a person has been arrested and he has not been charged with any offense and he has been detained, a habeas corpus action usually goes to the point of charge or release.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a habeas corpus is.
And translation is thou shalt have the body.
Yes.
Have the body.
Yes.
Thou shalt have the body.
Now, my follow-on question: if you have somebody incarcerated and you miss the chance to bring them before the court, and then they brought and the lawyer says, you owe the time then basically because you didn't bring you held them beyond the time that you should have charged him. Can he be charged again for that same crime if he's
at that particular time? At that particular time, he's not charged. Under the Criminal Procedure Code, there's a time in which you have to hold people before you have to release them if you have not charged them. So if you I think there's 48 hours, 72 hours, depends.
Right.
And if you haven't charged them within that time, if the evidence hasn't come to it says that while questioning, when the evidence comes to the point where you can make a charge, you should charge and stop questioning,
right?
And then and then charge. If that point has not arrived, then you have to release them from custody.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that when you release them from custody, you cannot rearrest them again.
Right. Now, okay, good, thank you. Now, here's my question now. A certain, and this is speaking hypothetically because I don't want to get in trouble, but a certain person now, who, let's say, he comes from a little island on the northeast of us, let's say was held on a more serious charge, but then because of habeas corpus, when the court got involved, they found this problem, and now he's, of course, charged with a lesser crime. My question is this: if I really don't know why we're trying to keep this guy here, and he's supposedly wanted somewhere else, but my question is this: can the more serious charge be put on him again?
Oh yes, the procedure is and the policy is that you find something to be able to hold that person in custody, and so usually you find something else, whatever it is you can that is legitimate to hold them in custody while you are seeking to find the evidence for the more major charges.
Okay, all right, good. Thanks for that. Second thing is this, OC and Dr. Steve. That East End Road that is going to be going through a lot of pristine woodland and special type forest. We have always been talking about this public transport service. When is it going to come, and why doesn't a government put their foot down and say, listen, we're not going to be building roads forever. We're not going to be destroying all of our ecosystems for roads. We're going to put a reliable a public transport system in place, and like it or not, you have got to either take it or you're going to be in traffic for 3 or 4 hours. Because once that road goes through, that is our pill to reach the 100,000 or 125,000 population. So that road from Bordentown to East End is going to cause a lot of development along that road to start with. Besides destroying pristine woodlands and ecosystems, what is the trade-off? When are we going to say enough is enough? And really find an alternative to destroying what we call our precious Cayman Islands. When are we going to have the cojones to say we are not doing this? We are doing this other option, a reliable public transport system. It will eventually become perfect, but to start off with, for the first 2, 3 years, 4 years, it might not be perfect, but you will darn well take it and use it. Otherwise, stay in traffic for 4 hours.
Well, George, that calls for a nation building plan not the kind of plan, the nation building we had before, where you give churches money and stuff. That's not the kind of nation building I'm talking about. Right. I'm talking about where the plan of where your society is going to be for the next 50 or 100 years. And in other societies, they lay that out. And if you look at the Notre Dame Cathedral, that wasn't built by just one government. It built over centuries. They had a plan to build that. And when the builders started, they probably got old, and then the other builders came and started finishing the project. This call for a development plan for the Cayman Islands and what you want to see to look like and what you want it to be for the next 50 years. I don't think that plan exists.
Right, exactly. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Dr. Steve. And really, we've got some tough decisions to make in the short term as a country and as a government. But as a country, we have to find a way of depressing these artificially inflated land prices.
Yes, George. Yes, George.
Caymanians are not going to be able to even afford land anywhere if this speculative buying continues of property. You know, in the 1980s, the Hunt brothers cornered the silver market.
Yeah. Yes.
In the States, and they were U.S. citizens, and one of the government agencies, the Commodities and Exchange Market, I think it was, but anyway, the U.S. government, the part of the U.S. government, they stopped a U.S. citizen from buying any more. What I say? What's copper now?
Silver. Yeah. Okay, they took a big hit on that at the end of the day too.
But they stopped them from buying any more silver.
Uh-huh.
And there's nothing wrong with the government saying we're not going to, for the next 5 years, we're not going to be allowing any more land purchases on speculative basis.
And we still have to do something about the importation of vehicles as well. Caller, I'm going to ask you to leave us there. We have to go to a commercial break. We have two other callers on hold as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
Ransomware, DDoS, malware, phishing. If you don't know what those mean, you're not alone. But if you aren't protected against those cybersecurity attacks, then your business is at risk. Don't leave your data or your business vulnerable. Get Digicel Business Protect. Simpler, smarter cybersecurity. Visit our website, www.digicelbusiness.com, to request a callback or call us now on 623-2499.
The Chamber of Commerce Training Center's Workplace Essentials course focuses on providing the knowledge, skills, and attitudes your employees need to succeed, elevating your company far above the competition. Topics include basic accounting, communication skills, management training, and excellence in Excel. Make the Chamber Training Center a partner in your business success. Call the Chamber today at 949-8090 or visit caymanchamber.ky for further information.
Esports in the Cayman Islands just got a major upgrade. That's right, NetGeeks Media is proud to present Gamers Bay 6. This is July 30th to 31st, 2022.
Compete head-to-head for over $10,000 on the PlayStation 5 in titles such as Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, and FIFA 2022, utilizing our new gaming monitors.
Additional competitive titles include Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch, as well as Naruto Storm 4 for the PS4.
Oh, and did we mention keyboard and mouse can now also be used?
Back and better than ever. It's all going down July 30th to 31st, 2022 at the John Gray Gymnasium.
Meet international YouTube influencers Windy Girk and Beck Brojack. Let the world see the power of Cayman's competitors.
Visit gamersbaycayman.com to purchase spectator tickets, view schedules and times, purchase competitors' passes, as well as view the rules of each tournament.
Proudly sponsored by
Pepsi, Enterprise Cayman, Department of Tourism, C3 Pure Fiber, Radio Cayman, K Gadgets, Youth Services Unit, Office Supply, Cellular Cayman, Dolphin Discovery, The Matrix, and the Department of Education.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We still have two callers on hold, so let's go straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning. How are you?
Not too good, but okay. Good morning, Mr. Maxfield.
Good morning.
O.C., we need some more phone calls like George phone call just now. We need some more communication in regards to this so small island. Where we're heading and what's going to, especially what's going to become our grandchildren in the future here, because it's not looking pretty, especially when it comes into property wise to these grandchildren and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't call for that. But we need some more phone calls like George. What I call about OC is yesterday I was at therapy, and I was looking at the building over there by the Wharf Restaurant. Where the building there.
Okay,
and
yeah.
I see where I have a little pathway in there. I assume that's a beach entrance. And that just hit me even more to the core, to the fact of the matter that they're building that new place there, and we're going to still be getting these little pathways onto the beach. And it just took me back to say this we are, what is the saying, Cayman, what is the saying again, Mr. Maxfield? Time forgotten.
The islands that time forgot.
Yeah, islands that time has forgotten. And that's what hit me yesterday, sitting there waiting for my turn to go into the room to do my therapy. You know, it's ridiculous, you know. I met a visitor some years ago, and she said she came here when she was a young child, and she knew a lot about Cayman from when it was down in the little baby roads and so forth. And she came back because she was in recession. She had cancer, and her wish was to come back to the Cayman Islands to see Cayman again, because then she practically grew up here on the island, coming back and forth. So she said that when I took her on the tour, she said that she could not believe how much the 7 Mile has grown, and you can't even see the beach no more from just driving, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I brought that in with the little passageway of diesel entrance that we have to go down to the beach. You have an emergency down there. The ambulance can't even get down there. You know what I mean? But yesterday, on Dwayne's show, I called in there yesterday, and the second to the last caller, and he was saying that he didn't know if it was me that had started the conversation on your show on Wednesday on Monday in regards to the palm trees downtown Georgetown. Well, I didn't get a call back. I just wanted to know that I believe I was the one that started the conversation on your show.
Yes, yeah.
The trees down there on the waterfront.
Mm-hmm. And for your information also, I am reliably advised that some of those are coconut trees as well. There are some coconut trees.
That's what he said yesterday, that some of them are coconut trees down there and so forth. But the fact of the matter is, I am talking, it's nothing wrong with them, like he said. Of course there's nothing wrong with them. But I'm talking about weather. I am talking about weather throughout the whole island. If you drive to this island, there's these tons of palm trees on these people's property, on the main road. You know, if anything happens, they are going to come down in our road, and I hope they never do. You know what I mean? But they will come down at some point in time somewhere to the island. But anyhow, yes, nothing wrong with the trees, and he says that putting grape trees down there will be pretty messy. Oh, really? When you eat them grapes down in the 7 Mile Beach many years ago, looking purple all over from toes and fingers, chest and mouth. It didn't bother us then. So
no, if they're properly placed. I mean, right here in the government parking lot here, there are cocoa plum trees that are used as hedges right here in government parking.
Yes, and that's what I'm just take one more minute of your time. Yes, the coconut tree is fine. But they can drop on people here too if they stay up there long enough and dry. You know what I mean? But anyhow, we leave that alone. But the cocoa plum and the grape, the people using them as hedges in their yards now. We could use them down there and shape them into a nice hedge. And when they do have the cocoa plums and the grapes on them, it's something eatable. We need to get into this eatable situation in Cayman because in the grocery stores is trying to endeavor best to find food for us.
Well, maybe they're worried that if we put the cocoa plums there and the tourists start to eat them when they come off the ship, then the Cayman is going to complain and say, we got our cocoa plums there and the tourists are coming off the cruise ships eating them as well.
I'm hoping that the cruise ship passenger will try them and say that they're good. It's part of us. But anyhow, I'm not going to take up no more time. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Could you please call me?
Doc, she want you to give her a call.
Could
Certainly,
you please
yeah.
Call me.
Okay.
Call me when you get a chance.
Okay. And thank you very much, caller. And Billy, if you're still listening out there as well, there are several persons who want to get in contact with you, Mr. Billy Samamba. And I am going to look and see if I have your number, but I don't believe that I do. So, Mr. Billy, if you don't have any objections, if you could call back and give Paul Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal, your number. There are several persons who would like for you to contact them, or they would like to contact you. So if you're amenable to that, please call and give Paul your contact number, as well. Any other callers on hold, Paul? Another caller? Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC.
Morning. Hey, morning. How are you?
Morning.
Good, man. I will listen to Mr. Billy. When I listen to people like Mr. Billy and Mr. Steve, I don't have to smoke no weed to get high. Just the knowledge, and for the record, I'm not smoking this morning, far off.
Okay.
Yeah, doing my little business. I got to do my little banking and things, just run my business, but you know how we go.
Yes.
Anyhow, people like Mr. Biller, I don't know which wind blew them here, but I can tell you which wind blew them off here. But if I say that, I probably get handcuffs on me this morning, so I got to leave that alone like that. But you know what Mr. Billy said about him training Caymanian? They didn't want him to train no Caymanian because they want. Do you know this saying? I know Dr. Steve might have heard it, or Steve heard it. Listen, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
It's the king, yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the one-eyed man is king.
Yes.
So when you keep your people blinded, all you need is one eye to rule them, to run them. You understand? Yeah. No, this is late, but I want to wish Canada a happy birthday, and I want to get back now to Mr. Roy for all of the discipline that they have with this government business. How come it is that his government in 8 years never thought about the district council, which their government link them with the one with the change of the constitution? He would have hated the snake. He would have hated the snake for the constitution change, and I voted for it. I supported it. I campaigned for it because I thought we need changes, and the district council would be a beautiful thing. But the district council is the buffer zone between them and their people, and they don't want no buffer zone between them.
And caller, just for your information, the advisory district councils that was not an idea that was put forward by the government at that point in time. It was put forward by the leader of the opposition, Honorable McKeever Bush.
That's right.
He was the one that put that forward. And I, as I have said many times before, I was cabinet secretary, so I was there when these negotiations took place. And it was only on the last day of the negotiations that they actually got back to advisory district councils. And that is why you see very little about it in our constitution. It basically just says we leave it up to the government to pass laws, or the people of the Cayman Islands to pass laws, to establish advisory district councils. What I find disappointing, and I'll get hell for this, but so what? What I find disturbing at this point in time, that the main proponent of advisory district councils have been relatively silent these days. The same person who advocated for it has been relatively silent. So both sides are complicit in us not having a proper advisory district council legislation and up and running functional advisory district councils.
Yes, and it's a shame. And you know why? Because when democracy is a good thing, but it's a very dangerous thing, because in democracy, the fool has a vote, the illiterate has a vote, and you can get to them easily, Yeah, you can get to them, somebody weed, somebody liquor, somebody a little washing machine, a car, whatever. But whichever way you get to them, you got to them. And when you lick them for that 4 years, and remember, if you don't have a brain, you can't remember. Retention is a serious thing. That is why they're afraid of me, because I can remember. I have a strong retention ability in my brain. So if you tell me something 15 years ago and I lock it in, I can smoke it back out on you. You remember what you told me? And I was telling Mr. Roy Matagod and Mr. Joey Hugh. You remember I talked to them guys over the air about the license fees in Cayman Block?
Right.
Now, Mr. Joey Hugh and Mr. Roy, I'm up to your deputy leader. And I got to tell him, I know what he told me about my license, what I should do. And I'm not bringing it over the radio because it may call for a lawyer. But whatever I said, I can sit down in the room with the Liverpool police and the FBI and hook me up to a lie detector test, and I will pass it with flying colors. And I know that he can't pass it when I ask him the question. Anyhow, gentlemen, wanna have a nice day.
You do the same, my friend. You do the same, my friend. Folks, we have to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
You crossed over to a new vehicle, and with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
JN money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank? Yeah. Pay your bills quick? Yeah. Low fees, you know what it? Yeah. J&M Money, we a pick? Yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at J&M Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
Cybercrime happens online or through the technology we use every day. Anyone can be a victim of cybercrime, whether you are a young person being bullied or harassed online, or an older person or business who's been scammed out of money or personal data. Cybercrime is an issue that touches all of us. The Cayman Islands government has therefore created an online resource to help keep you cyber safe in an ever-changing world.
In online situations, it is better to be cyber safe than sorry. Learn now to protect yourself against cybercrime. Visit gov.ky/cybersafe.
It's Kirk Freeport's 50th anniversary, and we're celebrating with you. If it's your 50th birthday in 2022, we have a $50 gift card for you. If you're celebrating your 50th wedding anniversary or higher, it's $500. We'll also donate $50,000 to charities and increase the rewards for store purchases too. Purchases of $500 will receive branded gifts, while purchases of $100 gain entry into our monthly sweepstakes with prizes from luxury brands. View terms and conditions on kirkfreeport.com.
Radio Cayman News.
Lawmakers pass a private member's motion designed to provide increased assistance to Caymanian land and home buyers.
Cayman is facing a cost of living crisis. Prices are going up on just about everything we buy.
Since taking office, we have assisted 246 families, and stamp duty already been waived.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orit Connor, continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Just to let our audience know that Dr. MacPhail has had to leave us. He's still in court conducting a case, so he's unable to remain for the entire show. But I want to thank Dr. MacPhail for gracing us with his presence here. And of course, when he's here, there's so much to talk about and so many questions, as well. So I want to thank him. One of our listeners has written in and said that the proposed east-west arterial road is only being completed for the benefit of the development of the land, which will benefit only landowners who want to sell or develop. They say George is correct. Get a proper public transport system done ASAP. And that is the feeling that, those are sentiments that other people share as well as far as a public transport system is concerned. But that development of a public transport system also has to come with changes in other government policies as well as it relates to those persons who come and work in the Cayman Islands and their ability to be able to own motor vehicles on the island as well. And for those of you who feel, well, government isn't going to give that up because that is a source of revenue for the Cayman Islands, then government will need to look at alternative sources of revenue. But we're not going to have a public transport system in the Cayman Islands that is accepted by people as long as they have the option of, do I take public transport or do I drive my own vehicle as well? And we know that in the Cayman Islands, some households already have 3, 4, maybe 5 vehicles, as well. So that may not help. For those of you and the person who has WhatsApped me, I will respond by WhatsApp as well. But Mr. Billis Samamba has graciously provided us with his phone numbers. His number in Canada, the one number is area code 647-745-0951. I'm going to repeat that. This is the Canadian number, 647-745-0951. He also has a Cayman Islands number, but you can only communicate with him via WhatsApp. That number is, of course, area code 345-928-2644. I believe I got that right, 2644. So, WhatsApp number, area code 345-928-2644 for Mr. Billy Samamba. So he's more than happy to give his phone numbers out, for you as well. Okay, some breaking news here, folks. So let me give it to you. You would have heard some time ago on Radio Cayman that I, actually, and for the record, that I spoke about the radar system and the importance of it, and also the fact that Jamaica was having problems with their radar system as well. Well, we do have a press release just issued today at 9:25 a.m. Weather radar service restored. Good news. So it reads, the Cayman Islands National Weather Service confirms the Kearney Gomez Doppler radar has been restored to full working order following repairs conducted by a visiting expert from Leonardo, Germany. For more details, there's actually a press release that has been issued, and I'll try to share that with you as well. It says, I will find that copy of that and share that with you also. Meanwhile, we do have our callers. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC.
Good morning. Good morning.
This is McKeever Bush.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I just want to tell you that, and Dr. Steve, who might be with you.
No, he has left.
But he knows that I took that as far as I could take it, that we appointed people who refused to sit on it, and I was voted out of office after that. That was between 2009 and 2012. All the time, there are records in the house where I spoke about it afterwards. I don't get on the radio much these days. I have to get on when I hear these things said.
So what is your position, in relation to it? What is your position?
I have a district council. I have a council. I have members of my council called the West Bay Enhancement Council, West Bay West Enhancement Council, and I await for the day that government decides they're going to do something with a district council as such, because I do believe that is necessary, that is what we must still have is a district council, never mind our constituency councils. We have them. And I don't get on the radio because I have always believed that I do things best and get it done, and the people that I do it for know that I do it, and that's good enough for me. But of course, when you all get on the radio and say that, that we're silent, then I have to come on because I'm not silent.
Well, what I can tell you exactly what I said, just in the event that you didn't hear it. I said...
I heard it.
Okay, good. Great.
I heard you say the main proponent of it has not said anything in recent times, but I am. And it was said from our platform the other night when we had a public meeting. Mr. Bernard Bush reported that we are still wants to have it, but think they're finding a way to have an all district council now, and not just constituency council. Because that was
is this separate? Is this separate and apart from what is proposed in the Constitution?
No, the Constitution talks about district councils, right?
Right, advisory district councils, yeah.
And now we have constituencies, single-member constituencies. But each one of us do have, I think, I know I do, and I know Kathy do. I know other members have their councils in their constituencies. But we believe that there should be now a district council, as the Constitution calls for. So it's not that I don't support it, it's just that I am not on the air all the time. I'm in the house. I don't get that chance to speak because I am presiding.
Right. But don't you think, I should put it this way, some would regard the fact that you have some influence over legislators or the PAC government, and whether or not your influence can be used to ensure that we have legislation that is workable, even if it's your legislation that you initially introduced that is workable, so that we all can benefit from this.
Oh, see, I don't get a chance. I don't operate in caucus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the authority that people think in the government. I have to beg for things.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said at the meeting a couple of nights ago, I think Bernard, when he spoke for all of us, talking about a district council. That's where I think it was Bernard. I'm sure it wasn't.
Yes, it was. I think it was.
Yeah, Bernard made a report about it, because we believe now that there should be a district council. Not now. I always believed in, as I said, Dr. Steve would know, because he helped me with that law. He helped me draft the law. He did a lot of work to help us with it, you know.
And I have been extremely complimentary of you on it, and pointed out to them, and you know, the fact that during those constitutional negotiations, they basically tried to ignore you on that, and it was only on the last day that you got something inserted in the Constitution.
The PPM was not for it.
Right.
They didn't push it.
Right.
So, you know, because you were the cabinet secretary,
Mm-hmm.
you was at that constitutional conferences, so you know.
Right. Hello? Is the speaker still there?
Yeah?
Yes, sir. Sorry, something happened there. You're still on.
Chairman, we had chosen a chairman, we had chosen members,
Mm-hmm.
but we needed some people from the opposition who we appointed, but they would not accept it.
Right.
They were part of the opposition.
Right.
No two ways about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we had Darlene Glidden Hulston was our chairman. That's who we had chosen. We went as far as to get, you know, like how the mayor's house, to show that there's a chairman.
Yes, yes.
We went all that. We went far with it. But we didn't get support. I got thrown out of office, and the government didn't move it on it since that. I've spoken about it several times in different places. Still support it, but I can only beg at this point.
Got you.
Remember this? The government didn't give me any. They gave me a piece of part. I became a part of a coalition government, because that's what we are at the present. The PAC is a coalition of independents.
Mm-hmm.
But the government didn't give me anybody with me. I mean, the people didn't vote anybody with me, so that I can say, well, that person is talking directly on my behalf. No. We work together down here. We try to work together as a group to make sure that our district is operating on a good level and trying to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
We do that, the four of us. We certainly do that, and we will continue to do that. But I don't have anyone to say that's UDP or that's McKee. No, that's not so.
Okay.
So.
Even though, you know, people would, there are many people out there who believe that you still have a strong influence.
But you grew up in Cayman, so you know.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker,
I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
Tell Billy to stay in Canada. He made enough money from this country, and far as I'm concerned, he didn't do a good job. He wrote 3 books that I don't know where he sold or what he done, but I know I have 3 of them. He had enough time to do all that. I, at the present time, do not operate any real estate company. Yes.
No, he wasn't actually saying anything against you. You know, he was supporting the fact that you did have a real estate, but you weren't out front, you know, with it. He didn't say.
That's not the way it reads from.
Okay. Well, that was my interpretation of it. But Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. We've gone past our commercial break, and we still have callers on hold. Thank you very much, folks. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Make your house into a home Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Early Bird gets the cheap tickets. Join us at Parker's Raceway July 30th and 31st with tickets starting as little as $10. Race on over to parkersraceway.com and get your Early Bird tickets before they sell out. Follow us on social media for more event details at Parker's Raceway. A big thanks to our sponsors, Monster, Valvoline, AI Rentals, Event Pro, VP Racing Fuels, Parker's, and NGK Spark Plugs. Get your tickets at parkersraceway.com.
Capella Music Festival is coming Saturday, July 16th to the Festival Green at Camana Bay, featuring international stars Charlie XCX, Michael Bolton, Barris Hammond, Maxi Priest, and Wyclef Jean, alongside a big lineup of local performers. For full details and to purchase tickets now, visit CapellaMusicFestival.com. Brought to you by Camana Bay, Cayman Islands Department of Tourism, Corona, Cayman Airways, Coca-Cola.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britke. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. Only 10 minutes left to go. 9 minutes, actually. We do have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning to you, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning. How are you, my friend?
Pretty good, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good, thanks.
Thank you. And good morning to Mr. McPhail. I don't know if he's still there.
No, he has left us, sorry.
Okay. Just one, and I'm going to try to be careful what I say here, but just want to say that, in terms of the brouhaha, in terms of district councils and the whole nine, I just wondering where these district councils are held and when are the notifications given in regards to them being formed and the whole nine, because I live in West Bay and lived in it all my life, and all my family have, and I live specifically in West Bay West, and I've never heard of there being any meetings in regards to persons interested in being on a district council or forming it in the whole nine. And I raise that not as in contrary to the speaker, his thoughts a while ago, but oftentimes, it seems like we're exchanging the word council for many times for what a lot of the certainly more seasoned or older politicians used to have, which was district committees and people who were loyalists to themselves, and so they continue to work. And I suppose in their minds, in many instances, operate or think that they're operating a district council per se, when in fact they have a lot of loyalists who primarily go out and strategically assist people who they believe support them. Never mind, they don't know for any certainty. And again, this is not in regards to what the speaker said, because a lot of them operate in the same fashion, and so. It's probably why. Let me just say this. Let me end it this way, because I think the point is made. I find it hard to believe that we have members who are constantly telling us, the public, that they believe in councils, they want councils, da-da-da-da-da. That's been for years now. How long we've had to change the Constitution? 2009?
Yep, 2009.
And we cannot get the framework in place that allows... we cannot, or we will not, or we would not, or we haven't, or we don't want to get the framework in place that supports a people power council that helps to manage the affairs of the community. The last sort of organized sort of committee that I've been to was an invitation to one that was held at the Papagallo with some, with a group that has been working for a very long time as a sort of quasi kind of council, and it kind of drew people from all across the community, people whoever was that has that. I know people like Mr. Hurlston, Eden, that is, was involved, and people like Mr. Oh my goodness!
But in all fairness, Mr. Bush did have legislation introduced. Dr. Steve Markfield was a part of that, and of course it was shelved when he was out of office.
Yeah, that's not. And as I said, that my point isn't that he introduced it. I don't care who did. My point is that we don't have the framework. I mean, the speaker was just on talking about the fact that we're having this issue in regards to the fact that it speaks to a district council. Yet we have these constituencies, and I'm saying for the life of me, for how can we have representatives for so long talk about the fact that they support this and haven't been able to flesh out and provide the framework for people to be able to organize themselves?
Yes.
How can you tell me in one air or one breath or one side of your mouth that you support it, but then you're not championing, changing it and getting the framework in place? And again, I'd like to know a little bit more about what's going on in West Bay West. I live there. I don't know about any councils. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that as well. So, folks, have about 6 minutes left. Unless other calls come in, Paul, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the remainder of this press release in relation to radar services being restored, but it also says that further repairs are planned. So it says Cayman Islands National Weather Service confirms the Kerner Gomez Doppler radar has been restored to full working order following repairs conducted by a visiting expert from Leonardo, Germany. Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency Chief Officer Jennifer Ahern says she is pleased the public can once again access live radar images on weather.gov.ky. She's quoted as saying, "I want to thank the Cayman Islands public for your continued patience as the Weather Service has worked to restore radar services. I know it will be a relief to many in our community that they can once again view real-time radar images online. Throughout this process, our meteorologists have continued to provide forecasts for the Cayman Islands, and I am pleased they will once again be able to use the radar in support of these efforts." Cayman Islands National Weather Service Director John Tibbetts is quoted as saying that the expert technician from Leonardo, Germany, was on island for approximately a week to complete the necessary repairs. Leonardo is the only company in the world that can provide the services and expertise necessary to restore our radar service, and I'm pleased to report we were able to facilitate this visit and get the radar back up and running. That's a quote by Mr. Tibbetts. Additional work to repair the leaking dome and install a dehumidifier are planned for August of 2022. Our work is not over, and we are continuing efforts to ensure the dome is sealed and a dehumidifier installed ahead of what is typically the busiest portion of the Atlantic hurricane season for the Cayman Islands. Mr. Tibbetts, those are all quotes from Mr. Tibbetts. Says online radar imaging was briefly available on the evening of Wednesday, the 13th of July, to facilitate testing, and is expected to be restored fully to the Weather Service's website on the evening of Thursday. That would have been yesterday, Thursday, July 14th. Mrs. Ahern has also said that the government will continue to keep the community informed of progress to repair the dome and install the dehumidifier. We recognize the significant public interest in the status of the Weather Radar Service and will continue to provide updates on the status of the dome repairs and dehumidifier installation over the coming weeks. And for more updates, the public, you're encouraged to visit weather.gov.ky, or you can contact the Weather Service at metoffice@gov.ky. So kudos to the government in terms of getting the radar repaired, and no doubt, the complaints, the voices were heard. The government heard them and acted as expeditiously as possible as well. Okay, I have half a minute left to do this, but I want to raise this. One of our listeners has written in and said that the Advisory District Council law was passed by Mr. Bush in 2011. His government was elected in 2009 to 2013, so he had 4 years to get something in place, but certainly 2 years following the law being passed. It was initially shelved by his UDP government, not the PPM. I'm sure that we will hear more about this as well. So, folks, I want to thank Dr. Macfield for being with me this morning. I also want to thank all of those callers who shared their viewpoints with us, as well as those who simply wrote in as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as we traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want, or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwinibanks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money. From abroad to yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6